Good morning, everybody. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you are on the lifeboat. I haven't done this in a hot minute. Can I get a 5x5 and see if I'm being heard and seen? Hopefully, I am. It was a long day yesterday. Yeah, excellent. Good to see it. Good to see it. Good to see it. Glad you all can hear me. There is a lot going on, people. There's a lot going on in on the lifeboat. There's a lot going off. Hey, Johnny. There's a lot going on planet Earth, and I don't know if you saw this horrific bridge collapse that took place in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. The Francis Scott Key bridge. Really horrific. This there was a cargo ship leaving the port of there's the kitty leaving the port yesterday that ran into one of the concrete embankments that holds this bridge in place, and it was the crazy thing is that it is literally, it was filmed, but it wasn't a huge collision. It looked like it just made contact, but continued to sort of plow into it. And the bridge just fell down like it was like a Jenga game. It was horrible to see how this thing just fell across the top of the container ship, and apparently there it sits. I watched the early morning press conference, the first one that they did. Apparently they're doing another one in about a few hours, I guess. I don't remember the exact time they said they were doing another one, but there are sonar has detected cars on the bottom, which is really, these people need as many prayers as can possibly be. And you know what, people, we got a lot of crew in that part of the country. And one of the things about hosting a channel, boy, there's really, anytime something happens somewhere, we probably have got crew, in that part of the world, and certainly if it's in the United States. So, Rexican Messler, good to see you. DeAudrey Gora, glad you're here. Hello, one with Shell. Good to see you. Hey, Lynn. Davey, Scooby. Hey, Donna. Miss D, glad you're here. Joanne Rice, Sandy, Wendy. Hey, Brady. Tree Huggers? Did I see Tree Hugger? I did. Joanne Rice. You know what, people? It's hard to watch. They originally were saying they're looking for 7 people, and as horrific as that is as a concept, that 7 people would, when you hear that a bridge is collapsing, you think in terms of numbers that could be really huge and really catastrophic. I think it's we need to pray that that those numbers aren't higher, because my gut tells me that there's a pretty good chance they came out with that number so quickly. My guess is those are the 7 people they absolutely know were on that bridge, and they had work crews that were working on that bridge. This is just 20 vehicles in the water, says Rexican Messler. Terrifying, people. So just prayers for all of them. Really, prayers for all of them. It's horrific. Now, these are, this is in the news. Also, this afternoon, we're going to have a lot to talk about. Obviously, I just got back in town. I was traveling. Lisa Trimble, I'm glad that you are feeling better. And our thoughts and prayers are with you as well. This is for our sister, Lisa. Hey, Squirrel, knock that off. Come here. Who had a trip to the hospital. So you are in our thoughts and prayers. Yeah, I guesstimate at best. How am I feeling? You know what? I'm happy to be back in front of the microphone. I'm not kidding. You get away from the boat, and it has an effect on me. I'm really happy to be back. I have my to-do list is the most terrifying thing that anyone has ever seen. On the bright side, I have a completely renewed attitude concerning my to-do list. Come here, Squirrel. I absolutely will get all of this done, but I'm not going to allow it to really freak me out. And the reason I say that is we've got a lot of really, really epic things going on with the boat. Number one, Johnny Scoville and I are authors to be. Fairly shortly, we are going to be New York Times best-selling authors. Sorry, I'm throwing that out there. I'm just gonna make a prediction. I'm just gonna make a prediction because I really believe that's gonna happen. I want to let everybody know I'm safe. It's 13 miles from us, and Michael doesn't have to go into Baltimore for work. Sending love to all of you. Christy, thank you. The crew that I was referring to in that part of the country. Thank you, Christy. Well, you know what? That's the only crew that I know of personally, which does make the morning a little easier. But there are still a lot of people out there that our thoughts and prayers. And you know what? And a good thank God too, Christy, for you and your husband. It's scary stuff. It really is. It's very, very scary stuff. So my brother and I are writing a book that is. I know I said for a very long time that I wouldn't do this because of my inability to take what is in my head and put it on paper. My inability to do that is very real. My brother, on the other hand, is a gifted writer. And without giving up a bunch of info, the people that we're going to be working for had already accepted something from Johnny at one point in an earlier life, so to speak. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy says, I will buy it. You know what? I think it's going to be epic. I really do. I think it's going to be. I'm terrified to have the story told, because when you hand over your story to somebody, I've talked about this many times on the boat. You know what I mean? When you hand over your story or you sell the rights to your story or whatever, people take things and run in different directions. I've done interviews to see the interview come out a hell of a lot different than you did it. Right there, it's amazing how things can get twisted and wrapped around. What will come out, we will be exactly what happened. There won't be anybody that plays with it. You know what I mean? It'll all be the truth, the good, the bad, and the not so attractive, so to speak. Christy, thank God. I'm so glad that you are safe. Really does. I'm very, very happy that you are safe. She recently moved out there. So Jenny, top of the morning to you as well. Duff's Your Arms, good to see you. DNV, how are you? 1983. Will the book be on audio? Guaranteed. Guaranteed. The book will be on audio. The book will be in print, and it will be in every other kind of digital medium you possibly can. And someday I'll tell you why that's really funny. But I promise you, every single kind of digital medium that we can possibly get it. Title, Too Hot to Handle, not bad, Lady E. I'll tell you what, we can use that as a working title for the time being. How would that be? Because if I told you the title, I could tell you, but then I'd have to remove you from planet Earth. No, I'm kidding. But I could not be any happier to be back in front of this thing. I'm not kidding. It really is a trip when you get away from this. Like I go on the road and I'm journaling and working the entire time, but it's different. It's just really, really different when you're video journaling. I journal with people there, right? Who fire back and forth. And when I am, this keeps me, I've said at times, sorry about that. I've said at times in the past that cognitive decline sometimes makes you feel like you want to walk away from the microphone, because it's just, you're not where you used to be. You're not firing on all cylinders. And sometimes you forget what the hell you're talking about, and you can't seem to keep on topic or whatever. But to be really honest with you, I feel like the more time I spend in front of this thing, the more I feel like it's almost keeping my head in the game. It's good to be engaged. And currently, I've got more stuff going on than anybody on planet Earth. And except maybe my brother. My brother may have more stuff going on than I do. But the number of projects and things that are happening, that this is the Davey. Yeah, you know what? I think I've always had the ADHD brain. I really feel like, Squirrel, what are you doing? Come here. He's trying to climb on top of the television set. You've seen that show before, but Rolling Stone. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Rachel, good to see you. Kristen, Melinda, how are you? Mara, good to see you. Missed you too. Swirl Christmas, missed you as well. Hey, Rube, glad you're here. Yep, now she is on top of the television set. Johnny Scoville, what is wrong with your cat? All right. What is wrong with your cat? See, I go on the road for a couple of days, and he literally lets this animal take over the entire house. Spoiled? You thought she was bad before I left. Good Lord. Nicola, great to see you. Tampa B, man, how are you? You know what's rude of me too? Hold on, let me apologize before I get rolling any further. Hey, Sugar Lips, good to see you. First live? How about that? Welcome, Sugar Lips. Glad to have you on the boat. First live, I love that. I'm sorry for I didn't even say hi to my kid. The start of the show would probably be the right thing to do, to say, hey, while I was gone, Spanx Calhoun hit it out of the park. And Spanky, I appreciate the heck out of you. I really do. He's I'm so blessed at how well my son turned out. I mean that, you know. It could have gone really horrifically bad. It very often does when a dad gets locked up. Spanky, in spite of that, really has just turned out to be a heck of a kid. I'm really, really proud of him. Cooler by the lake. It's good to be back. I promise you that. He did, Christy. He killed it. Karen Oates, good to see you. Dennis the Menace, back. Sierra Jerry, how are you? Creepy. Glad you're here. How the heck about Tampa? I'm glad you're here. Pajama Pixie, thank you for your kindness incessantly. I'm telling you. You know, people, a lot of times there are folks that reach out and do things that you don't see. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who support the boat in ways that don't always pop up in front of the world. And you know what? I don't often enough come out here and say thank you to all of them. And a lot of that probably has to do with my dome, you know. But I'm really going to double down on that effort, because without you guys, this isn't here, right? This doesn't happen for real. And Pajama Pixie, you're one of those people. You know what? Tampa Bay, you are one of those people, big time. I mean, all of you are, but you two really jump to mind. Z-Dub, how are you? Good to see you, Zen1. Glad that you are here. I'm glad that you are here. Z-Dub's getting ready to move, which is a beautiful thing. Mom. Glad that you are here. Really glad you're here. Hey, Tree Hugger. Rhonda. Huckleberry. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Kat Kaplan. Lisa. Lisa from Jersey. Lisa, I was having a really, really, really good laugh. It was not about you or at your expense, but we were talking about, I was out with a friend this weekend and we were talking about Jersey. And he said, you've got a girl on your boat who's from Jersey. And I said, yeah. I said, who? And he said the name of your channel, right? I swear to you, all I have ever seen, I don't know how my brain works. All I have ever seen is Lisa from Jersey. This is all I have ever seen. So he goes, make it make sense. I go, the heck are you talking about? Make it make sense. I go, who's make it make sense? I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, he goes, it's a blonde woman. I go, nothing. I got nothing. He's like, you talk to her all the freaking time. I go, I have no clue what you're talking about. And this went on for a hot minute. And then they were like, this, she's the one that's always busting you chops about you're not wearing your glasses. I go, oh, Lisa from Jersey. He goes, yeah, the name of the channel is Make It Make Sense. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm not very bright. I don't know. Seriously, you see how the brain works though? How does the brain work? Pajama pixie verklempt. Do you know what? I don't know whether it's funnier that pajama pixie can spell verklempt or that I know and am so tickled by the fact that she can spell verklempt. Are you kidding me? I mean, how awesome is that? Oh my God, I got said in the same sentence as Tampa Bay man, I'm verklempt. You know what? You are rock stars. You are absolute rock stars. Henny, speaking of rock stars, holy Hannah. How are you, Henny? Really glad you're here. You know what, yarn prepper? Prayers are common. All right. Thoughts and prayers, crew. Yarn prepper says, need prayers from the boat. Found something in a mammogram. Could be nothing or something. Well, you know what? Anytime it could be something or nothing, please come and let us know about it so that we can all do what we do to pull in the direction of nothing, huh? I really appreciate that. Lisa, that's funny, right? So I don't know. It's how the brain works. Honestly, I could have passed a polygraph test that I didn't have any idea. What is it again? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm like, make it make sense. Just you have that happen? Oh, sure. When you get one of those names that's in a parentheses or whatever, and once I start clicking, it's like your avatar and things go by really quickly. All right. And yeah, that's really funny. But the person, what finally was the thing that put it over the edge, they were like, she called in the night you did the call-in show. She called in, and I'm going through my head of all the people that called in, and I'm like, Lisa from Jersey. He's like, yeah. So yeah, I had no idea that was her channel name. But now when I see it, I feel really, really stupid. When he said it, I kind of thought that maybe it said Lisa from Jersey, and then somewhere else it said make it make sense. But it says make it make sense, big as heck. That doesn't make sense. I can't make that make sense. See what I did there, Johnny Scoville? I cannot make that make sense. You know what? I'm so sorry that you had to go through. For those that don't know, Pajama Pixie had to eulogize someone over the course of the time I was gone. It is so difficult when someone passes, and the closer you are to that. But if the boat was able to help in any way, then all of us should be really, really happy about that. Seriously, anytime we could do something like help one another through through something like that, I think that's probably a really good thing. It really is. Davey. Davey, you're funny. Davey says, no worries, I have very small boobs, so less punishment. The things that get said here that occasionally need to be highlighted, I'm sorry, are just they're not the kind of things that pop up every once in a while. Yeah, I think this is a general consensus. But I'm telling you, you're gonna be good. I'm sorry to hear that, Yankee Kyle. Since you lost your grandfather, that's about all. It's been that long since I lost my dad. It's it's like people say, you don't get over things, right? You learn to live a new lifestyle, and in that new lifestyle, those people are not there, right? And it's hump. Nobody likes it. It sucks. I am one of the belief that I wouldn't want any of them back. Like, my friends that have gone to the other side, I miss them, but I really am the person who believes that they are in a much better place. Lord Kiss Freak, what's happening, my man? Izzy, good to see you. Glad you're here. Awakened by the Looking Glass. I've always liked that name. Flip Flops. So, hey, Mary, I'll tell you something. Oh, Mary, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. And I know that there are a lot of people, Mary, here who know what that feels like. Um, I'm not one of them. My other halves leave. Usually, I have run all of them off, but there are a lot of people here who are in that same boat. Oh, creepy! I'm so sorry to hear this. J9, good to see you. You know what, creepy? Thoughts and prayers with you too. That's horrific. It really is. I don't honestly. I don't care what anyone says, but that's one of the most traumatic things in the world. The loss of a pet to me is it honestly is like losing family to me. It feels the exact same way. It's so painful. The longer you have them, 15 years with a furry family member, and that's a long time. It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime. I had I had a cat that lived longer than that, and I had a cat that lived considerably longer than that, and I had a cat that made it almost to 20. Um, and all my cats live long. It's the one thing the one thing I do have going for me is my cats live really long lives. Probably because I'm the most overprotective. Like, I go out of town, and Johnny Scoville lets Squirrel Nut Zipper within about 7 feet of a hawk. I can't leave town. Apparently, yeah, you did. But, yeah. You know what I said, and I know no one's gonna like this. No one's gonna like this. But when birds start threatening your cats, right? You got to get the thunder stick. You know the thunder stick? Yeah. Personally, I can't own a thunder stick because of um, my background. I am restricted by the federal government from ever owning a thunder stick. Johnny Scoville can own one, but when those things bark, boom! You don't even have to kill anything. All you got to do is make that thing bark a few times, and then things stop coming around for your kitties. It's all about the thunder stick. I promise. I beg your pardon? That's right. The bird meetings later on, they all get together and talk about it and be like, you hear that stuff? Seriously. Might want to avoid the Scoville Casa. They got a thunder stick. Sorry. I'm reading and trying to catch up. I'm not as bright as I used to be. No, actually, you know what? I feel better right now in the dome piece than I've felt in a long time. Now, got a couple of announcements. We'll keep them for a minute. It's early in the show. How about this P Diddy crap? Boy, I didn't call this, did I? How long ago did we start? I said when I did the first P Diddy show, I'm like, this is kind of outside the wheelhouse of the lifeboat, right? This is outside the wheelhouse of the lifeboat. But the reason we're going to do the P Diddy thing is because I think he's an Epstein Jr., right? I've said from Jump Street, I really, you're right, Tampa Bay. If you've owned a pet, it is one of those things. Hey, Seventh, I love you, man. I love you. I really do. No, you know what? It's he's an R. Kelly. Thank you, KT. Thank you. In all honesty, no, I'm sorry, people. I just had one of those moments where my brain shut down and I didn't remember what I was talking about. a while back, I talked about this cat and I said, this dude is an Epstein. That's who and what he is. And I got some news for you. When they go in that deep, I don't know if you saw any of the film of them going onto Puff Daddy's property. Did you catch this? They went in deep, like I have never seen. When they came to my house to raid me in the morning, they were coming to my house because they thought that in that house I had a massive cache of weapons. Right? I was selling guns. They were under the assumption that I had way more in that house than I did. The BS informant, whatever guy that they were working with, and the warrant for that matter to come in. They literally thought they were coming in for a lot of ARs and a bunch of AKs, and they found a couple of pistols. There really wasn't much in there, but they came deep, right? And there were about 70 of them. And you'd be really astounded how much 70, right, people coming onto a property looks like. In fact, I remember my PO knocking on the door in the morning, and he said, "Hey, it's Chris. I won't tell the guy's last name." And I said, "How many friends have you got with you?" Because I could hear noise. And he goes, "About 70." And he said, "But you can let me in first." I said, "I got to put the dogs away." And he let me. He was a really good guy. I've talked about him before in the past. He was a great man. Really, my probation officer was one of the kindest people I ever met. But I'll bet you there was 100 on P. Diddy's property, including 2 helicopters. Now, at the same time, they're hitting the East Coast. They're hitting the West Coast. I mean, at the exact same time. And they do that, right? Because they don't want you flushing dope down the toilet, or they don't want you clearing computer screens, or they don't want you deleting video files. I think this sick SOB has been throwing really, really weird parties for a really long time. And I think he's been recording people. This dude, his rise to stardom in virtually everything he touched was really, really easy. I mean, for real. Good story though. He was supposed to play a starring role in some film that trying to remember the actor who took his spot instead. It was a football film, but apparently was like they had the whole thing set up, but the athletic part apparently was a real problem for him. I remember reading an article about it. I'm not a fan of the guy. I've never been a fan of the guy. Not a fan of his music. I've just never been a fan of anything about the cat, right? And now when this stuff starts coming out, yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't see a lot of talent. Now, there are people that dig him. You know what? There are a bunch of people who hate everything I like. I know that, art is subjective, right? Maybe the guy flips you switch artistically, and that's cool. I don't care really. It's not my gig. But he's a sick piece of crap. I think we can all pretty much, at this point, I don't think there's anybody left on planet Earth, probably including his mom, that doesn't realize this guy's pretty messed up. Right? Maybe Monsters Ball's a prophecy. He's rubbish musically, says Dufsta Rhymes. You know what? I'm going to throw that up there. You know why, Dufsta? Because then it's going to be on you, and I didn't say it. I kind of agree with her. But we're putting this on Dufsta. I didn't say that. She did. You know what? I love that. I love that, Tampa B. I really do. I have no idea who or what Puffy or P. Diddy is, thankfully. You know what? I'd be proud of that if I were you. Hey, look who it is. Yeah, my dad was a pretty big fan of the whole, like the name thing. My dad used to mock P. Diddy. Like when his name came out, my dad would just start laughing. It's Paws McGee, Bacon Bits, Ben Turner. I know I say it every time, but you just don't shake a hand bigger than mine very often. You know what I mean? Well, he says, glad you're back after traveling with Kmart of Air Travel. I want to tell you something, brother. The Kmart of Air Travel would have been an upgrade. The problem, here's the thing. If I had booked the travel the way the travel should have been booked, then this is a non-issue, right? Truthfully, I could have driven home quicker. Now, but when you sit and work and then you go, all right, today I'm going, right? I'm going, and then you go to the airport and you get a ticket. Nothing ever goes the way it's supposed to go. But on top of that, I had a bad itinerary. That's not anybody's fault but me. I had a really bad itinerary. Then the first plane doesn't get off the ground, and then you're screwed. When it's a domino. You ever had this happen?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's a domino.
And you know it's going to happen the second the first one falls.
The second the first one falls, you're like, it's all over but the crying. Especially if you're on a plane that's got like 300 people on it, right? And especially if the 300 people on that plane are going to a hub, right? Because there's going to be, the next flight that's going out is going to be 4 hours later or 5 hours later. It's probably booked. And now there's 300 more people that want to get on it. And it just starts getting crazy. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say he's probably wearing like those Invicta watches. I don't know if you've ever seen Invicta. Big watches, Johnny. Seen Invicta? Wow. They make the biggest watches you've ever seen. And I shouldn't say that because people keep trying to outdo that. I mean, honestly, it's starting to look like Flava Flav's freaking, that thing he wore around his remember Flavo? Catalina. You have to love Flava Flav. Hard not to like, right?
This is great reality TV.
I didn't catch much of that.
Bridget, he was married.
Oh, there. You know what? When I was in the joint, I saw that in the magazine. He really was. Bridget Nielsen. Bridget Nielsen, the 6 foot whatever tall goddess, huge blonde goddess, dated Flava Flav. Flava Flav was like 4 feet tall. Wow, Catalina. She says, my husband's hands and feet are very large. Any gloves need to be triple XL, and shoe size is 14. Good Lord. Yeah, he's got paws. Yeah, that is 14 is a big foot. A big foot. Mara. Good to see you. Debbie P. Did I say hello to you? I didn't say hello to Catalina either. Hello, Catalina.
You know what's fun? I sucked at basketball, but in high school I used to palm the ball between just a few people out.
Yeah. Cup of coffee. Good to see you. Remember Flava Flav. Cindy Collins, please come on board. Good to have you. Always a pleasure. Shannon Smith, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Heather. Do you know how many times? I've known so many Heathers in my life. I'd like to have $1 for every times I've said, hey, Heather. Nice. Flava Flav, super nice in person, was still wearing the clock a few years back. I think you marry the clock, don't you? I mean, if you're Flava Flav, there's no getting off the clock. Not at this point. Izzy E. Look at this. And it starts. You people are the best. Look, and we're turning green again. I love it when the army turns green. I really do. Thank you, Izzy E. Really, big love, Izzy. Thank you. I appreciate that. You go on the road. Well, here's the good news. Remember this pesky diet product? Well, guess what? I'm going to be giving you guys the ability to buy it. It will be this week. In fact, it will probably be tomorrow. Now, I'm going to do a whole show on it because I'm going to tell you how I use it. And as I said, I'm going to show you a before and after shot. Because I'm not for nothing, but I have dramatically lowered my and I am not doing this for any other reason than health, and that is the gospel truth. But whatever reason you do anything for is your business. But I'm telling you why I'm doing it. For me, it is all about health. But I'll get into that in my show too. Mike, your cat is petting my face on the TV. Oh no, I love that. If you knew how much I love kitties, I kind of want to nuzzle that kitty with my nose. I really do. I wish I was there. I love, or my head. I'm a big cat person. I don't think I can explain how much I love cats. That cat scratch fever thing, I absolutely believe that it is a real thing. Dennis from Boston, this is my friend Dennis from Boston, just realized I'm an ensign now. Yeah, absolutely. And in good standing, my good man. Hey, look who's in the house, people. You know what? I'm gonna say something about this wood. Uh, Russ has been a really solid cat. He really is. Um, it's it's cool to have to have somebody on the outside that very much still acts like they're on the inside, and I mean in the best of ways, not any of the bad ways. But he's very much that cat. You know what I mean? If I miss 2 shows in a row, I promise you, I'm gonna be hearing from him. You know what I mean? And it's never he just, hey, everything up? You doing all right? Just making sure you're doing okay. What's going on? Just you know what? It's I'm glad to be back, Russ. I'm glad to be back. Thank you, man. Seventh says, still wearing the clock a month or so back. He's in The Godfather. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. He is the godfather of one of Muhammad Ali's grandchildren, who happens to be a fighter. Wow. Wow. You know, there was a time in my life where I probably would have known that, but I used to be pretty well up on all things Ali, but I went away for a really long time, and then BJ's Critters. Good to see you. Glad that you popped in to catch you live. I really am. I'm very glad. Annika's mom, I'm glad you're here. Your cat's ears move when they hear Tommy loud enough. ASMR for kitties. By the way, the ASMR stuff is coming as well. We are. I told you what happened. The first batch we sent out to people said the recording quality of this is anus. Sorry. So we've got a place we're going and getting this nailed out. That is coming. I promise you. An announcement tomorrow on the journals. People, be nice on the journals. This one's not anybody's fault. If it was, it would be mine. It wouldn't be anybody's but mine, but this isn't my fault. And when you see what's going to happen, people, I've got something coming I really would love to talk to you about. But the protein balls this either tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the next day, guaranteed. Those are rolling out. I'm going to be good to go and be buying. Yeah, we have great mods. We really do. We got great mods. Sometimes I wish you could watch the behind the scenes with the mods. I made a jackwagon out of myself last night. On the bright side, I don't think anybody saw it. Actually, I know one person saw it, but she was very kind about it. I'm sure a couple of you saw it. I had a minor meltdown. I wanted to grab a crew member on the lifeboat and remove his head like a twist top. Flick it like that kind of thing. Tommy Bird, good to see you, brother. Really good to see you. It happens. You know what I mean? Sometimes this guy just said something jackwagony. He really did. Yeah, Mary, I turned it to private for a reason. Here's why. I gave an idiot. I actually said a dude's name, and I don't do that ever. I just used a first name, but I don't do that. It gives rise to the people. What happened is I had been awake a really, really, really long time. And this is a guy. You know what, Tommy Bird? I bet you the rest of the world would have enjoyed it. Truthfully, it just wasn't classy. It just wasn't very classy. And you know what? The guy that the offender had left. You know, if you're a content creator and I click on your name, I can see every single content you ever left, right? With the stroke of a button, it'll say to me, "You've left, 150 comments, whatever." I can click on it and I can just read all of the comments. So I'm looking through every single comment this person leaves. Like, this is just a supporter. Been a crew member for a really long time. And then just popped off with just a crappy, stupid thing to say. And did it just to be mean. You know, if it's for the purpose, you can say anything you want about me if it's in a legitimate dialogue. I'm not kidding. If you want to talk to me about being a piece of crap or whatever, I mean, there's a lot of reasons that you can have that conversation with me, right? But don't do it for the purpose of having fun. Don't do it for the purpose of taking shots, because I don't do that to you. I don't do it to anybody. So if you do it to me, the beautiful thing is I just kick you off the porch. I don't have to see you again. And not for nothing. But you know what, Johnny Scoville? Oh, you know what? Johnny Scoville's probably working out already. Guy's a savage. But here's the deal. Yeah, claim your destiny. Diddy, I'm doing a whole show on Diddy here in a little bit, and I talked about him a couple of minutes ago. But this afternoon, I'm going to do a whole Diddy show. Bottom line, they come that deep. They got that many people. Guess what? This ain't the beginning of the case. Feel me? When they show up with the troops and they raid two places at the same time, so you can't destroy evidence, that's not the end. I mean, that's not the beginning of the show. That's the end of the show. I promise you. Right? They're not starting off the process. They know what they're going in there for. They know what they're seizing. They know why they're seizing it. They got a case on this cat. That is my absolute humble opinion. Tell you what, I have, over the course of my life, had the misfortune of doing well, if you got a warrant, I guess you're going to come in kind of thing, you know? Any deadheads in the audience? It's a good dead reference. I'd like to get some sleep before I travel. If they have a warrant, by the time they get the warrant, right? Especially this isn't. They're not going in. You know, this isn't a small. This is a massive operation. They brought in Homeland Security investigations. This ain't no joke, right? These are the big boys. Hey, well, I'm so glad that you are a lurker no more, right? Thank you, Norway. Norway in the house, people. Can we give a little love to Norway so that Norway no longer lurks? Lurkers. Come to the surface. All right, pop your head up. Say hello. We do not bite. I can't back that up 100%. Occasionally, we bite. But that's not such a bad thing. Claim your destiny. Oh, you know what? I do not have a problem with this at all. My opinion is deadhead chip technology is kind of weak. Well, you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, to be sure. Thank you, Mary Gonzalez, for saying hello to my friend in Norway. Yeah, right, Jeremy Fowler. How cool is that? No, Scooby Lee. No, never apologize for talking Tesla. There's nothing wrong with that, Nicola. Tesla was a genius. Cooking with Grandma. There you are. Cooking with the Grandma. How you been? Glad you are here. DNV. 1983. Thank you. Thank you much. An update on Q. So I don't think, and I'm going to catch crap, but I'm not getting the truth from Q, so I don't know. He's doing fantastic physically. I think his head's not in the best place. I'll be honest. I think that he had a weird one, Jam. I'm concerned that he is not progressing at the speed that he wishes he was progressing at. And I feel like I wish I was there. I wish I had a shot at him all day, because he's Jennifer, we're going to have one today, because I feel like he could use it. I think he would like to heal instantly, and it doesn't work that way. And it's not that he isn't ready to put the work in. I think what he would like, in my opinion, he would like to have a speech therapist move into his cell, right, and work with him around the clock. I think that's what he would like. That would make him happy. Mary Gonzalez, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Taekwondo. Good to see you. Shay, I'm glad you're here. Encarnasoul. I don't know that I've ever said hello to you, Encarnasoul. Welcome. Hippie Chick 69. I know I've said hello to you, but I'm glad you're here. I really am. Yeah, so the Diddy thing, people, this is not, I promise you, it's not one of those situations that that they're on a fishing expedition. They're going in there and they're looking for stuff. And in my humble opinion, like I said the first time I talked about this low life, this cat is just an Epstein. He's a lowercase Jeffrey Epstein. That's what he is. I think he's been recording people. I think he's been throwing weird sex parties that put people into compromising positions, right? I think that he had a big down low crowd of of men that were sleeping with one another, either behind their wives' backs or with their wives' knowledges, but a lot of pretty famous cats that you get into a situation like that. I don't give a crap what you do with your life, but if somebody gets a picture of that in the world that they live in the world I live in, I mean, this many people on planet Earth know me, right? But if somebody says something crappy, do you remember when Reese did a show and talked about how she thought I was mean? It was when we first met, the two of us first met, and I'm not going to lie, that was 60% my fault. That the argument that she and I got into was at least 60% my fault. It might have been 70% my fault. But 300 of you, 280 something people bailed because she did a show where she said I was mean. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. I am so glad to see you. It hurt. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where that many people, left at once. I was like, it stings. Imagine the damage that a video could do to a career. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in the hospital getting a pacemaker. Did not know that. Did not know that. Did not know that. That's unusual. But yeah, I think he was taking pictures of people. I think he was taking videos of people and all of that. People, I did just hear about the foundation, about Aaron's. I mean, I knew it was coming up. I just didn't realize that I didn't know what the name of it was going to be. And when I got home, I got on and saw the videos. I think that's fantastic. I mean, everybody's got to be stoked for that, don't you think? It's just one of those situations where if there's a third or a fourth or a fifth, and I'd love to see them. I'd love to see them spread out into, I'd love to, honestly, we can't have enough people doing what they're doing, right? For every person out there surviving any cult, right? These people know so much about this cult. It's a fit. But boy, would I love to see a foundation pop up for people surviving any of them, because guess what? There are a grip of them. There are a grip of them. And there are some mainstream religions that are, dangerously close to being cults. There are some mainstream religions that do some really, really frightening things. Question, do you know how are the prisons in Georgia? My husband did 6 years there, but never wanted to talk about it, and I really wonder. Yeah, to be really honest, I've never heard anything good about prisons in Georgia. I really have not ever heard anything good about prisons in Georgia. I'm not trying to bum you out, but they're tough yards. They're tough yards. Down south, pretty much across the board, you're not doing a whole lot of soft time down south. They have a different philosophy. They tend to have a different philosophy on crime and punishment down south than they do in a lot of other places. But I've never done time there. I've only heard other guys talk about it. And let it be said, I've never met a convict that didn't want to say that the last prison he was at was a little tougher than the one you were at. You know what I mean? It's really rare when you meet somebody who says, oh, yeah, I went to this place and it was Prisonland. You know what I mean? Like it was softer than hospital cotton. And the last one I went to was, I promise you it was. And I've heard people talk about that yard and say, oh, man, I was there and it was cracking off. And I was like, damn, when were you there? Because, you know, it was, they had, the last prison I was at had a pond with 4 turtles. It was a turtle pond. You could go and sit and read, and the turtles would come up out of the little turtle pond. I'm not playing. They had a turtle pond. They had outdoor games set up. Really, really funny to me. I know you're talking about P. Diddy. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. He is a walking cesspool masquerading as a human being. Sorry, not sorry. And you have nothing to be sorry about. Tell you what, you know who's doing a victory lap, don't you? Huh? 50 Cent's having a lot of fun with this. I am not, never been that genre of music, people. It just does not do a damn thing for me. I can't explain it. Is what it is, but I can't explain it. Right. And God bless the people that dig it, because what makes your ear happy makes your ear happy. You want to know what makes my ear happy? No joke. You should try out this. I'm not being funny. Please check out my friend's YouTube channel. Would you like to hear music? Go check out that channel. I promise you will hear music. I'm not busting on anything anyone else listens to, but you want my opinion? There you go. Check that out. In my opinion, that's music, but absolutely worth checking out. Shannon Smith, what a nice thing to say. How very kind. I mean it. It's a very, very kind thing of you to say. Look at this. Love and hugs, Captain and crew. Longtime lurker from Surviving the Survivor. That would be my friend Joel's channel. Love Joel. You don't have any idea. Whoa, Kitty, please, come on. You are all a great group of folks, for sure. Love Reese, too, and the Bee Gees, so you can stick around. How's that? Loves me, Reese, and the Bee Gees? You are in the right place. Although she doesn't. I love the Chimes, too. Although Reese doesn't talk. She doesn't text. She doesn't write. She doesn't care. She disappeared. It's all good. It's all good. Yes, the feline walked by. You know why? Because I didn't put the basket up here, and she's a little salty about it. But I'm unpacking. You know what? Thank you so much. I enjoyed that interview. I was sorry that I had to get off it as short as I did. I usually do like 1 hour. Unfortunately, the first time you get anything getting up and running, it's hard to get rolling. You think she might fire me? She might. There is a possibility she could fire me. The good news is, if she does, I'm just going to have to get another cat. And I don't. There's nothing wrong with having several of them. They do still do training therapy for dogs and inmates, Mara, in different parts of the country. Sadly, not nearly enough. It should be done because the results across the board are phenomenal. Everywhere it has been done, it has been successful. Come here. But they're not doing enough. And I know everybody's mind always goes to, they're so worried that some sicko is going to hurt an animal. I think you would be really surprised at how safe an animal is in a place like that, because hurting an animal in there is literally putting a gun in your mouth, right? Except putting a gun in your mouth would be very fast and very painless. But if you're to hurt an animal inside of a prison, I promise you the things that they're going to do to you, you couldn't make a movie about. There's no way they would let it be filmed. Lisa Robinson, how about some thoughts and prayers? It sounds like a tough situation. It really does. Hey, Squirrel, you loudmouth. Come over here. She's I've been to some bad places, but there's always worse somewhere else. Boy, ain't that the truth, Russ? And you know what, people? I'm not trying to make Russ's inbox of women who write to him more stacked deep, because I know that that there's an excellent chance that he doesn't need any more help in that department. But if you haven't heard the story of Russ saving this puppy, you're gonna see pictures of this puppy. Russ saved one of the cutest dogs you've ever seen in your life, and just kind of heroic about the whole thing, if you ask me. And there was a place that where this animal was not being cared for, and he walked in the way you should and said, I'm leaving with this animal. If you have a problem with that, you should probably do something about it. And the little 2.5 pound animal is now healthy. Squirrel's feelings are hurt. Are you kidding me? Squirrel is literally on fire. I came home last night, and this cat went on a 45-minute, I am 2.5 week old sprint around this house. That was the funniest thing you have ever seen. I mean, she did it until she wore herself out and then fell asleep on me. But when she woke up this morning, she started again. Calhoun, she's been going through the fireplace on one jump. Now, the fireplace is open from one side to the other, but to jump from the bottom through it to the other side, you basically have to get real close to whacking your little kitty head on the top of it. Zoomies times 10, though, creepy. Like she lives in zoomie mode. She really does. But these are way worse. Come here. Like fat pupil zoomie. There's zoomie when there's, yeah, she was excited to see me for sure. And she always is. Usually she comes over and meows and walks in circles. And she did that, and then you pick her up and she does you start to pet her head. She does the paralyzed cat routine. It's very, very funny, actually. When you pat the top of Squirrel's head, she gets stiff and does not move at all. Like she's almost, like they do with sharks. The cat almost goes into a comatose. Come here, Squirrel. But last night, right after that, like I was going in and starting to unpack and take stuff out of the bag and stuff. And she just went on to, I am going to tear this place up. It was like the cartoons, when they bank on the wall. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that, my man. I really do. Thank you. She does want to co-host the chat. There's no better welcome. You're right. Fur babies are fantastic. She gets less excited now that because of the fact that Johnny's around. Because I really think a lot of the times we're interchangeable with her.
Thing one and thing two.
Thing one and thing two. To be sure, we are thing one and thing two, I think, to her. Shelly Kelly says, my dad has cancer treatment tomorrow and my stepmom is in the hospital for a blood clot. They are in Chicago and we are in Tucson. Shelly Kelly, we will keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Your cat heard Squirrel and is watching TV. I've heard that so many times. There you go. She's going to start talking too. I can see when you can tell what Squirrel's going to do based on where she goes. So any minute she's going to start on the I am Squirrel, hear me roar. You didn't miss much. Squirrel's just been running around. Thank you so much, Lord Kiss Freak. You see that? This is Aaron's new foundation. And if I am not mistaken, there are I don't remember how many. There are a lot of people on the board. They did a very large board of directors, but I'm almost. You know what? I'm not sure. I was going to say I'm almost sure that I knew a couple of people that are on it. I'm not sure. I know. I think I know a couple. I think I know people that are on it, but I know that they were making a very, very large one. I know that I remember hearing that. Serge, Sterling, and Reese are all on it. Awesome. You know what? I think that's probably a pretty good start, don't you think? Wow, Mary Jones. Mary Jones says, thank you to all who have been giving thoughts and prayers and everything else that you do, because her aunt, who has stage 4 liver and lung cancer, her cancer numbers have improved. Well, thank God, huh? Excellent. Or whatever you'd like to think. I'm going to thank God. NPR had bird watching shows on a long time ago. Did you just say Mick Mouse? Calhoun, are you seeing this? I may have to have Spanky come on and actually read that out loud. Calhoun, can I make that happen? Huh? Can I get you to come on and read that out loud? I will have you know the number of times that I heard McMow in my life. I don't think you could possibly imagine. When Spanky was a little boy, he got on the Mickey Mouse. Like most kids, at some point, just think Mickey is the coolest thing in the world. And we went to Disney World, and I took Spanky there when he was. I don't remember how. You know what? I could figure it out. Actually, he would have been 3. I was. Yeah, he would have been 3. And you know, kids get excited and their hand starts doing this number where they can't stop. His hands were just flexing in and out, and he's Mick-Mow, and like a machine gun. It was one of the funniest things you ever heard. Kids are great; they really are. He was, boy, did that make me laugh. You know what else makes me laugh? Johnny Scoville. Every once in a while, there's a line from a movie. Do you ever have a random line come to your head? It doesn't even have to have, like sometimes it has nothing to do with anything. You just think of a line from a movie that makes you want to fall down laughing.
Sure.
It's halfway between the udder and the hawk. It's a 42 belly option on 2-on-2. Name that movie. Do you know the line?
Probably. You want me to?
No, but I know you know what it is.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. But the way he delivers it.
But the way he delivers it. And he squares up with it. You know he's played. No lie. That looked like, you know who? That looked like little Mac there, showing us exactly how to. It is that is that reference. And now I know, I'm shocked that nobody gets this actually. This is Tommy Boy. Relatable Reese is here. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God. Good to have you. Good to see you. It is Tommy Boy. The movie was Tommy Boy. The movie that you are away with is the Boondock Saints. Well, how about that? I know that movie. Boondock Saints. It's a good film. Yes, Reese, it is. It absolutely is Tommy Boy. All right, it's a 42 belly option. It's halfway between the udder and the hawk. It's a 42 belly option on 2-on-2. Really, really funny. One of those things that just knocked me down the first time I saw it. It's sugar season up here. Wow, do you hear this? First moon marks the time to open up the maple tap. Izzy, you just made my day. Do you hear that, people? Huh? It's running. It's running. That is a very big deal in the Northeast. Chris Farley is a legend. Make no mistake about it. Not the only legend, but he is a legend, and that is a legit term, completely legit. Legend gets thrown around a lot, and Reese, you weren't watching the whole show, were you? I may have picked on you a little bit earlier on. No, you know what? If you had been here, you probably would have said something. So I'm just guessing. You arrived late. Joe Dirt is one of your all-time favorites. Have you ever seen my son? Just out of curiosity. Come on, Calhoun has the Dirte vibe. Calhoun, can you not throw off the Joe Dirte? Don't tell me you can't. Do not tell me you cannot throw off the Joe Dirte vibe.
He totally did.
Thank you, Johnny Scoville. Your uncle backs me up on this. Come on,
I
look.
try not to throw vibes that are like unfavorable.
What? You think Joe Dirt is unfavorable?
The I can see down your shirt guy. Yeah, what could go wrong with that?
No, come on. That's not the
Lovable characters in the world.
Thank you. He picks
Home
the he
is where
picks
the heart is.
He's a West Bridgewater Forrest Gump.
He is a West Bridgewater Forrest Gump. That is one of the most unbelievable things anyone has ever said. I wish the rest of the world knew how creative that was.
Rude.
No, it really wasn't. It was fun. It was absolutely, Calhoun, not meant.
Thanks,
in
Queen
that
of
in any
Awkwardness.
way. I'm sorry. Well, I
I was-
apologize, Calhoun. I really do. I am sorry, like you cannot imagine.
I mean,
I apologize more than you could know.
don't be
What the
sorry.
hell are you doing?
So we're just,
you-
I don't know. You clicked yourself out. I had to save you. Don't be sorry. It's okay. I just don't like either of those characters.
What
As
was
far
the
as,
second
like,
character?
Being like
Which-
them. Forrest
Which
Gump
was the
for
second
sure.
character?
Not a good look.
You don't listen to things that people say, unfortunately, because what he said was not your son is like Forrest Gump.
So
What
the
he
East
said
Bridgewater Forrest Gump is what you said. I didn't hear what he said.
Apparently you didn't, but thanks for doing this for the world to watch. This has been fun. Did I ever watch the original movie Shattered? I couldn't tell you who was in the original movie Shattered, but maybe somebody could help me. Yes, I apologize, Spanky, and to all of you as well. He is good looking, people. You know something? The Joe Dirt reference has been made with Spanx 250 times. Today is the time he decides that he's going to let that be an issue, which is just Spanky having one of those days, people. And this is what happens with father and son, especially when you allow the world to watch. I know you didn't. You've never been mean to the kid. I know. Yes, one of my all-time favorites too. You know what, Mary? You're really funny. Spanx is very good looking. He gets that a lot. Sandy Wandy, thank you. Excellent to have you. Taekwondo, please be safe and text me. Please. Shannon, good to see you. And it is excellent to be back. Truthfully, it is. It's so here are the announcements that I was preparing to hold until the end. We will absolutely be for all of you that were not here in the beginning. We will be rolling out his. Why Kenya? Thank you. Calhoun is a handsome guy. He really is, to be sure. I think he looks far more like his mom, to be honest with you. And if you could see his mom, I can't put a picture up of his mom, but if you could see his mom, hey, Kenya, glad you're here. If you could see his mother, he really, really looks a lot like his mom. All right, now you're pushing it. Now you're pushing it just a little bit. You know what? I don't know that didn't happen either. To be really honest, people, one of the things that keeps you watching is that we run into brick walls at top speed on a pretty regular basis. It's also the reason that Reese and I are fascinating because a guy and a girl, right, of mature, well, at least one of us is mature. I'll let you figure out which one is, but of mature age are becoming friends while the world watches. And that's hard if you're of the same gender. If you're of opposite genders, it causes but we do our friction for the world to watch. Like if she and I are on the phone or having an argument, we'll just go live because it's more fascinating to watch people try to work through things. It's a Mary. I'm sure that when she gets back to when she gets back to Kansas City from wherever she is, I don't remember where she went, but I think she's on the road. When she gets back, well, I'm sure we'll do a show. I love doing shows with her. It's fun, and everybody seems to really dig it. So. You know something though? Oh, see now do you see what you've done here, Kristen? Kristen says, I think if I did a show with my dad, half of it would be him arguing a dolphin is a type of fish and somehow managing to continue to do so even after I showed him a reference in an encyclopedia. Okay. All right. A dolphin is a fish. I'm sorry. I realize there's a crap load of reasons that a dolphin isn't a fish, right? Like I do remember all of that. I remember them talking to me about all of this stuff. But for the record, it swims in the ocean. It eats nothing but fish, right? All of its friends are fish, right? What? Dolphins.
Notice that thing, like the old dolphins?
What?
They all drown.
Yeah, I know.
It's tragic.
All right, Johnny Scoville with the "Will Cheer Up the Audience" says that's how they pass away. Do you know this? Apparently, when they get so old that they can no longer swim, they drown because they have to continue to come up for air. But from what they say, that's not always the worst way to go. For real. Once the panic is over, there's that panic. But
that's what Earl told me.
No, there's science. That's what Earl told me. No, there's science behind this. You're an idiot. No, what happens is when the
mental gymnastics of thinking of a name that we didn't know in the chat is what I did in that split second. I couldn't think of an Earl.
Earl?
Yeah.
Do we have any Earls in the chat? If you are
so quick my brain works.
If you are a lurking Earl, why don't you come up for air?
Lurking Earls. What great name for a band.
I told somebody yesterday, I'm like, Johnny does that all the time. Comes up with stupid names for rock bands. What did you just call it? The Lurking Earls. Wait, Mahi is a dolphin? I'm sorry, what? No, different kind of dolphin. Dolphin fish and dolphin are two different things. Don't do that. No, I would not eat a dolphin. You can see all of the Scoville men being in Tombstone. I don't know that I could pull off Tombstone.
I said that about Spanx. He's just total Tombstone body.
Oh yeah, no. With the long hair though, I think everybody with the yeah, no. He also wears the hat a lot, and that If I ever win big lottery, I'll name my butler Earl. I like it. I like that you're planning what you're going to name your butler if you ever win the lottery. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's all awesome. Valerie 102. How did the move go, hon? Huh? How did the move go? By the way, the song Girl Named Sue, a boy named Sue, love. Absolutely love. I think A Girl Named Sue is a great name. Great name. You were eating mahi-mahi and was accused of eating dolphin? Please tell me you laughed at them. I will manifest it, Kenya, I promise. And I don't think he'll mind the nickname. No. If he does, tip him out a little bit, throw him a little extra at Christmas or something. I don't know. Earl's not a bad name. Although, excuse me, as a middle name, it almost guarantees you that there's a chance you're going to end up a serial killer.
Or Wayne.
What? Or Wayne. Yeah. Wayne, like John Wayne Gacy, or which one was the Earl? Because it just sounds like one. I had a friend, his first name was Jeffrey and his middle name was Earl. Oh, doesn't matter what his last name was, but every time he would say his name, I'd be like, if I were you, I would change your middle name. Because if your first name is Jeffrey and your middle name is Earl, it doesn't matter what your last name is. You sound like a serial killer. I'm sorry, just that. Yeah, Johnny Cash. I love Johnny Cash. It is, that is absolutely sad, Mara. It really is. You know what? Squirrel Squad says, if I win the lottery, I'll get lots of cats and name them all Daryl. Good. By the way, I know that there was another episode last night with some of the protesters out in LA. I know I don't talk about it a lot here, but there really is a lot of funky stuff going on out there with that. It really is not right. It is not right. There is, it's disturbing what LA allows to go on with the hopefully, yeah. I mean, it just, yeah. It's systematic throughout that entire department. It just looks to me like the entire police department is just, yeah, I saw that yesterday. I didn't see it. I didn't see it until today. Yeah. Third time in 2 weeks, apparently. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It really is. Jeeves, Tommy Bird, how do you argue with this, Johnny Scoville? Jeeves, Earl or Jeeves? What do you think?
You're driving a limo.
See, good point. He says, no, if you're Jeeves, you're driving a limo. So Jeeves drives your limo, Earl is your butler.
They both could be. They could go either way.
You'd have Earl as your driver?
I might.
No. Drive on, Jeeves. Left turn, Jeeves.
Sure.
Left turn, Earl.
Earl could be my gardener.
Earl wouldn't be a bad gardener. Chauncey would be my gardener.
But you can't go with the Chauncey.
Yeah, if I had a gardener, his name would be Chauncey. Just so that the people who come over and go, I'm sorry, your gardener's name is Chauncey, then I would know, right? Yes, the SPTV Foundation is up and running. We touched on that earlier. Congratulations to them, to Aaron, and to all parties involved. I think that is fantastic. I really do. I think that is fantastic. I am sure that they're going to do amazing things. I guarantee it. And you said that the three people that you named that are on the board, yeah, that seems like an awful good start. Really does. Oh, it was. I didn't see it, Lord Kiss Freak. And I'm going to be really honest with you, okay? I don't know what swatted means. I don't. It's a term that so now I feel stupid. So SWAT has to do with literally SWAT. That's what that means, is when they call in the SWAT team. I thought that term meant just calling and getting somebody arrested. Swatting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, swatting is where if you're a streamer, they call 911 and saying there's a hostage situation in your home. So they come to your home and SWAT shows up. Oh, I got you. Did you catch that, everybody? But someone's been killed that way and they did time for it, were accused and were found guilty and did time for it. Oh, okay. So come over here and say that again, because I don't know this. Okay. Swatting is where it's done to typical streamers or gamers where you'll call 911 and saying there's a hostage situation with somebody with a
Right. Or
with
something
a pew
stupid
pew.
like that.
And they'll show up, thinking that's happened. There's a lot. If you go on YouTube and just say streamer gets swatted, you'll see a dozen of them where it happens. But at one case, they showed up and somebody was killed, and the person that they found out who did the swatting, that person was charged with murder.
Oh, good Lord, man. Yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea whatsoever that any of this thing is a thing. Yeah, Kristen says one reason doxing is dangerous for streamers. No question, right? No question. And Jeremy Fowler says, crying wolf in the extreme. Yeah, that's scary stuff, people. That really is. That's scary stuff. I got to agree with this. Swatting callers should be charged with attempted murder. I agree with you. But you know what's odd? Super late swatting. Yeah, see, I'm not very bright either. I didn't put that together. And the nutty thing is what he described, the guy that did get busted for that. I was on it's crazy, but I was on Con Air at the same time as the person that got a girl to unalive her friend. He met a girl online and they started having a relationship, and he basically said he just talked a girl into whacking her friend for fun, talked her into it to see if he could do it. And he got sent to the feds on it for a very, very long time. He was on the plane with me and apparently was super afraid to shower prior to he was just coming into the federal system and just covered, like his entire body was a rash. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen. But he was on that plane. And on the plane at the same time was the swatting cat. The person that called somebody out, and in the process, the person got killed. They got a federal beef, and they were on there.
There have been YouTubers that swatted themselves in an attempt just to get credit, just to get views.
How stupid a human being, or desperate a human being, do you have to be to do something like that to get clicks and views? Honestly, I mean, if that's where you've gotten to in your life, you probably really need an intervention of some sorts. Feel me? Diddy's family yesterday, it was catch and release. They put cuffs on everybody, but I didn't see anybody. I mean, they do that because when they're going in, they have to assume every single person is dangerous. When a search warrant is, when they came in on me, they handcuffed my wife. They handcuff everybody. I don't know that, and I wasn't arguing with what anybody said about dude, because I just don't know what the term means, but that was the first time I had ever heard it. But whether they're doing that or whether they're just calling one cop and he's getting arrested, no matter how you shake it, what they're doing is just filthy, right? It's a crooked police department is what it is. It's a police department that for all intents and purposes works for that cult. Keep it real. That's what it is. They work for that cult. I'm glad he was released quickly. Thank you, Kenya. That's good, but they shouldn't. Yeah, it's just they're crooked as hell. The good news is the more that these people do this, right? It is dirty, Kenya, to be sure. But the more these people do this, and the more they bring attention to it, this is the best of auditing, right? This is the best of what auditing does. This is why people audit, right? To call out this kind of nonsense, right? This is literally why they do it. And make no mistake, because I have been misquoted about 7,000 times on this by people you really would think wouldn't misquote me. But I've never said that I don't, what I said is I can't watch it. It's a personal thing. It makes me feel like every arrest I've ever been at, and I've been arrested a lot. I literally go into panic attacks doing it. You were photobombed by Johnny Scoville. He does that a lot. What's the big news? We have a book deal. The Scoville brothers have a book deal. We are writing a book. We have a deal. Can't tell you the name of it. The working title, what did you guys call it earlier? A really hot story or something like that. It had the word hot in it. The protein stuff's done. We're going to have the ability to buy that within the next 2 days. There are 2 other projects that are in the works that one is green lighted for all intents and purposes. It's done. They're putting together everything that needs what is about to happen is freaking epic. And all of it pales in comparison to the most important things in the world. And those things are about to happen too. And I can't tell you about any of it. I can tell you about the book, right? Johnny and I are doing a book. Yep. And there's other stuff coming too. You're going to get sick of seeing the Scovilles. I promise you that. Thank you very much, Miss D. Thank you. The protein stuff. Yeah, it's going to be released. I mean, we're going to have a code for it. I may tell you how to get it tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow. It's coming up. We're just getting it all figured out of how we get it so that you people can order it right here directly from us. And then you use a promo code and we get something. I don't know. The boat gets an override on the stuff. More importantly, honestly, you just want this stuff's really changing the way that I look and the way that I feel. Check this out. Oh, she stopped. You got to see when this cat does the Squirrel hops up onto the French panes and just hangs. She's destroying my wood. I don't care. I should. I'm a bad cat owner. Let's my cat do whatever she wants. I'm a bad cat owner. I can't wait for the protein stuff and the call-in shows with you and Reese. That was the one that I was saving until the end is we got the greatest call-in software in the world. And now what we need to do is figure out how to use it and get it all dialed in. I have more fun doing call-in shows. That was the most fun I've ever had. It really was. Oh my God. Reese, my song's almost done. I'm writing the to Tragedy by the Bee Gees. I'm throwing out the tragedy, except it's oh my God. And I do Reese doing the Muppet. It'll kill you. It'll absolutely kill you. And look who it is. Lisa from Jersey. What's happening, Lisa? Good to see you. Donning the shades. You see? You see? 42 belly option on 212. You get halfway between the udder and the hock. What do you say, Squirrel Nut Zipper? Come on up here. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Who's a good kitty? Yesterday, it was that he had a gun. Who had a gun? Who are we talking about? I know that was not my big announcement. We will absolutely be putting stuff so that Squirrel can do the runaround. I've actually been researching the crap out of all the stuff that you can put up for her so that she'll have the ability to truck all over the house. Oh, DOA. That's who you're talking about. I'm so sorry. Oh, that was the lie. Thank you so much, Hippie Chick. Now that makes sense. Again, I'm not the brightest bulb, but Kenya, it's going to be a lot of fun, I promise. She does get all Sphinx-like. I like it when this foot drops, and it will. After she's been kicking it long enough and she gets really comfortable, she'll drop her foot. She is a tortoise show. I love torties too. This is not my first tortie. Yeah, she chats out here. You sent me a watch porn video. I love watch porn. I'll bet it's a paddock. By the way, for those watch fans, what I am wearing on my wrist today is a 50 Fathoms Blanc Pain brought to you by Swatch. 51 moving parts. Mick Mouse was a tortie. Mick Mow. We are we associated with the Scovilles? Well, we took the name Scoville because of that. So yes, absolutely. Watch porn. That's where you look at very, very expensive watches where they show the inside workings and the just the most beautiful watches that you've ever seen in your life. And we call it watch porn. It's from the Venom Poker Tour. Very cool. I look forward to seeing it. I'm a huge watch porn guy. Every time I'm on the road, I go everywhere I go, I try to go and see if they've got, what stores they've got, what places that sell what watches. And they had a Swatch boutique, and you don't see Swatch boutiques very often. So, and I've always wanted a Blancpain 50 Fathoms. Now, it's going to be a while before I can justify, even with all of the really great things happening. It's going to be a while before I can afford one, but the one made by Swatch, and it's an automatic. It doesn't have a battery. Shag Nasty, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Catalina, I'm sorry as well. You know what? There's a lot of people in a lot of pain today, just in general. There really is. It's a tough world, isn't it, folks? Did you see that little foot she was doing? She was doing her little footy thing. Now, I am going to get rolling, people. I've got a bunch of stuff I got to do. I have more stuff going on in my life right now than I ever have. And a lot of people have reached out and said, Tommy, you know what? You really got to slow down. I get that. People say you really got to pace yourself. I get that. People say you're going to burn out. I get all the stuff you say, and I promise you I do. You know what, people? Clock's ticking. Clock's ticking. For everybody. You know that, right? Clock's ticking for you. Clock's ticking for me. But I pissed away 13 years of my life. And the previous years before that, I spent a lot of time bouncing my head off of things. So, yeah, Squirrel has a cam in the other room. Squirrel does need her own channel, and we're absolutely considering that. I am getting decent sleep. I promise you I am. I'm on a new medication that's been doing absolute wonders for me. The people in my life that were not in my life a year ago are making life a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. All of you, right? Some of you are making it so damn interesting. I don't even know what to do. Feel me? Yeah. Yeah, for real. You missed the live. No, you just missed the beginning of the live. We can start over for you. Don't trip. Hey, everybody. I'm Captain Tommy Squirrel, and you are on the lifeboat. I'm going to be going live a couple of more times today. Yeah. With everything else I got going on, I'm going to. I also got to go mail things to a bunch of, I got so many things that I've got to do. But I'm going to get it all done today. And I'm going to keep getting it all done. We have a lot. The things that are going to be announced within the next 30 days, let's just say this. No joke whatsoever, people. Let's say the next 6 months. Does that take us to what, about July? In the next 6 months, I will be announcing everything I ever wanted in life is going to happen. Boy, is that going to piss off some trolls, huh? But I'm not playing with you. Everything I ever wanted in life, it's coming true. And I am going to be able to announce that. Yeah, you're right, Miss D. You're absolutely right. But I'll tell you something. What time is the next boat? I would say about 11 o'clock Pacific time is probably when it's going to go up. That's not an absolute lock, but it's a good guess. Be pretty close to that time one way or the other. Might be a little earlier, might be a little later, but it's probably pretty close. What'd you hear, Squirrel? Oh, she loves me. Hi, peeps. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and we will see you on the next. Oh, hold on. Before we go, you know what? Check this out. Check this out. You getting ready to troll me? Check this out. We got a new thing we're going to do right here. You remember that? I'll tell you, this is crazy. When I was a little kid, when I was a little kid, I was in the Northeast. I was driving down Route 4. I know somebody in here knows that. But I was driving down Route 4 and I was listening to an AM radio station on my truck. And honestly, they had a guy on that Limbaugh was doing. It was the first time I had ever heard him. The first time I ever heard a Limbaugh show was the first time he ever made reference to the word ditto. And he said, you know what? We spend half of the show, the call-ins, with people saying, I love your show. He said, if you were to just say ditto, right, it would save enough time. And it sounded arrogant. And later on, he's whatever. But the point being, you can't say hi to every single person in this chat. It would be lovely if you could, but you can't, right? It literally is impossible. And if you're a rock star, and you know who the rock stars are, right? Tell you what, I'll just embarrass Seventh Son, Charlie, right? You guys know who the rock stars, right? And there's a bunch of them. The names you all know, right? The reason the lifeboat's so damn cool is because the crew are as important as the host. For real. Seriously. You got the wrong person leaves the boat and you feel it. It hurts, right? Because you people become so much a part of the show. But we can't, it's become almost impossible to say hi to every single person in the chat. But I kind of like this, you know what I mean? Like the idea of this kind of thing, right? Or even just, you know what? You throw up a bunch of hearts, a bunch of whatever, anything that makes you happy, but figure one out where you're saying, you know what? It's your thing. Hello to every single damn one of you. And of course, there may be that one person you haven't seen in a while, or I've never said, hey, T-Frog, how you doing? I don't know that I've ever said hi to T-Frog, right? I want to throw that out. I don't ever want to miss an opportunity to say hi to somebody, or if I haven't said, Rick Spicer, wicked good time. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Good to see you. I haven't said hi in a long time. Wicked fast chat, right? And one of the reasons that the chat's wicked fast is because about half of the chat is people going, hey, Tom. Hey, Lou. Tina, how you doing? Lisa, what's happening? Nothing wrong with any of that. I just don't want anyone to ever feel like somebody said hi to everybody but me. You realize it's almost impossible as you type in to see the next one that comes up. So if ever somebody just says, you know what, hello to all of you, we're not going to ever let our feelings get hurt or be weird about any of that stuff. Feel me? We're just going to do that. Hey, hello to everybody. You know what's funny as crap? Squirrel needs a YouTube channel because I got Johnny Scoville filming right out there. I don't know if you can hear him, but you can just, this is it's kind of a YouTube kind of a spot. All right, everybody. From the three Scovilles, right? Me and Johnny, Squirrel Nut Zipper, and my handsome son, Spanky Calhoun. You guys have a great day. I'm Captain Tommy, the cat, and well, there she is. Hey, that little kitty. See, basket or no basket, Squirrel Nut's gonna kick it. He's a good kitty, aren't you? Aren't you? He's a good girl. All right, people. Love you. See you on the next one. Bye-bye. And to all of my mods who put up with me. But and have been just really kind. I was having a rough day yesterday. Said and did stupid things. And you know what? My mods were just cool. They were just kind. He'll have no fury. Thank you. KT, thank you. You know what? Pop that head up. Everybody, every once in a while, pop that head up and say hi. If you're a lurker, huh? If you're a lurker, pop up and say hi. Right? Do it. Right? We preach connection. You got to say hi to us if you're going to connect. Charlie Murphy. There he is. Speaking of rock stars, pretty much sure I just was talking about you. There he is. Rock star in the house. Lisa Beam, good to see you. Michael J, good to see you. What happened to Q? Q had a stroke about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And fortunately it was ischemic. It was not hemorrhagic, but currently is working to get his speech back. And is probably frustrated at the speed that he's working. I think he'd rather have somebody working with him around the clock, and that's just not possible. MK, there we go. That's what I was sticking around for. I knew we'd get a lurker to pop the head up, but just stuck around for a couple more seconds. All right, MK, now you're not a lurker anymore, right? Everybody wants to say hi to MK? MK. By the way, Z-Dub, I'm back, and reach out to me today. I need to talk to you too. So reach out to me today if you could. Mama Scoville, you know what? I'll let you know this afternoon. I think she's doing well. I didn't really have a lot of time to get with Mama Scoville. I got in horrifically late last night, people, especially considering just how unlurk. Boy, there's a shirt waiting to happen, huh? Or the name of a show. Unlurk would be a damn good name for a show. MK, welcome to the lifeboat. A lurker no more. All righty, peeps. Now I'm really out of here. Bye-bye. Alley oop. 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 Alley.